What's good, G-Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Don't forget to check out my second channel, Man Society M.O.D. That's Man Society M.O.D. That's where we go live, where we talk about anything and everything, and where you can catch the G-Series now. Now, I was actually hit up by one of my subscribers, right? Good individual. And he had asked me if I had scoped out the diss track that Chills did to Dubs. And I told him, yeah, I thought it was Fuego. Now, the individual watches Dubs' channel, and he likes his content, right? So he's a supporter of Dubs. But he's a cool individual. And he's like, really? He thought that the track wasn't all that. He doesn't understand why people like it so much. I told him, no, the track was fire. And I told him, I'll do a video, and I'll break it down of giving my reasons of why, the track I think was fire. Now, keep in mind, this is not to like throw in the drama or we're just another YouTuber that cares about views and money and stuff like that. Because this channel is not monetized, so I don't get paid for YouTube on this channel. So, like I said, we just do this just out of the content and because, subscribers ask. You know what I mean? And we dissect music here. I have reacted to Chill's music before. I have said this. Chill is a really good rapper who's very underrated. You guys need to scope out his music. Like I said, I have reacted to some of his music. Chills is fuego, bro. He ain't playing. Right? His skills are, like I said, chingon. Now we'll get into the track and dissect it.
Bruta Sharmuta? That's you? The center Bruta Sharmuta? Attention on the theater, I just got a wheeler. It said the real ones from down south, they don't fuck with John Beeler. The dude on YouTube that can't hold his tequila. It's official, he's a rata and a squealer. It's time to go for blood and set it off like Queen Latifah. This snitching bitch call himself Dubs, I call him the King of Reaper. You about to get the ether from 16, like the girls in that.
Okay, first off, starting off, one of the first things that catches you is his energy, his rhythm. Like, you can tell his presence. He has charisma. He has that vibe to him where you're able to gel with this individual. He brings that vibe. You can hear it in the music. It doesn't sound like he's just reading it. You're vibing with his with the way he's rapping it. You can feel the emotions in it. Second of all, hitting them with facts. What people see on YouTube. He's somebody who comes on here who gets drunk and can't control himself when he's under the influence of alcohol. And is somebody who's, rolled it up, but is in denial. So, coming with facts, not coming like, fool, I'll shoot you, I'll kill you, I'll beat you. He's hitting them with stuff that, the viewers can see. So, facts.
Movie? Shit gon' get mean. On the SNY yard, your record was pristine. 12 years straight and not 115. Now you talking mean and wanna seem intimidating. Let's talk about the dude that you was incriminating when you was disseminating information in the shoe. When you was turning rata, you know who is fuck me is fuck you. It's about to get hotter. We found out about.
Okay. See right there, he's saying, those are somebody who tries to intimidate people, right? But if you put in so much work, like he makes fun of Chills for being in the prisons where Chill was at, right? But at the same time, how are you putting in all this work if you spend so much time in the SNY and in that whole entire time of your incarceration, which was more than the GP, you didn't even get not one single write-up? If you were this gangster that was putting it down and putting in work, and can nobody reach your standards and levels and nobody reach where you were at your pinnacle, but yet you didn't get not one single write-up, then the story's not adding up.
That pagada, you ain't really done nada. You were scared to put in work and hold the heat. They said, Joker, calm your pussy ass down and hold his feet. Now we see that talk is cheap. You ain't no stabber. We read the transcript, you just an ankle grabber. Then abracadabra, you left the gang and disappeared. Pop back on YouTube, you changed your name and dyed your beard. But the truth you really fear, the snitch files have arrived. Mr. Tough Talker tapped out in 2005. He felt he could survive. He left the yard and told the hooter. He's still talking like he's hard when we all know that he's my suitor. Making bets on his computer. He's heartbroken and hurting. He stayed drunk as fuck and scared to open up the curtain. Well, I lied.
See, he's scared that the truth was going to come out about his paperwork and his status. He's somebody who plays this tough role, who gets mad when people question him, and he threatens people on the net. But, judging from what he says, and like he said, the the transcripts and the paperwork that people read is not adding up, right? It's not showing this individual that was just out there, like the most gangsterist of gangsters. You get what I'm saying? It's showing actually, the opposite of that. So, like I said, he's just coming with facts. He's not like threatening him. He's not like saying that like, oh, I'll stab you or I could beat you up. He's merely coming and just keeps hitting them with the facts. Like, he's not mad at Chills. He's not mad at. He's mad at himself because of his status, and he doesn't like how he ended up, and that's what triggers him. That's where his anger's at. That's why he snaps. Because he views himself a certain way. Because his whole lifestyle, his whole way of life has always, been, up here. But now he feels like he's with the rest of the people that he used to insult, and he doesn't like it. But he has nobody to blame but himself, And that's why he likes to get drunk. And, like he says, it metaphorically doesn't open up the curtains to people to get to see the real him. You get what I mean? Chill's metaphors, his delivery, his pacing, his wordplay, you know what I mean? Like, all the metaphors he's throwing in there are phenomenal, bro. Just like any other of these good rappers, except that Chills is on YouTube, you know what I mean? But Chills, if he really wanted to, bro, has the potential to, be one of these big rappers.
On my subs, they go out like dubs. Never, he's a dropout. Basetta, Basuda, never. S and Y forever. He gon' verbal diarrhea. Mr. the Brief Chief, motto inmate Bia. Will I laugh on my subs like dubs? Never, he's a dropout. Basetta, Basuda, never. S and Y forever. He gon' verbal diarrhea. Quick to cooperate, motto inmate Bia. Hey,
modeled inmate. Damn, that's a savage line. That's cold stuff. So that's the end of the track right there, right? Keep in mind that Dubs was the first one to just insult, Chills out of nowhere. He used to, shout out Chills, but then out of nowhere, one live he was drunk and somebody had said, hey, Chills made a video, and he took it some other way, and he started calling him out of his name, calling him a bitch and fuck him. And the thing is that, you can apologize after the fact, right? But people already get to see how you truly feel about somebody because you were quick to call him out of his name and quick to say he's a bitch and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even have to think about it. You just, right away, was the first thing that came out of his mouth as soon as he read that. Meaning that that's how he felt about this individual. That's how he's, those are the true feelings he's always harbored towards an individual. That's why he was able to just, come out and just say this and that. Instead of, like, just sitting there, like, he reacted quick. That goes to show how he really viewed him. You get what I'm saying? Chills didn't call him out of his name and stuff like that. But Dubs wants to play the victim like, oh, this guy's over here making songs about me. And, he's trying to start beef. And when you were the one that called him out of his name and called him a bitch. Because he disagreed with you. That is crazy. And for those who defend Dubs, like, like, oh, yeah, these guys are, all up on your nuts and stuff like that. When he was the one that called these people out of their names and disrespected them. How you guys, backing this individual and saying that, yeah, he's in the right when he's in the wrong because he started all this mess. And by lying, too, for that matter, like, you're defending the liar in this situation, which is, it's insane to me that people rather defend the liars than the people that are telling the truth. Like, that to me is just mind-blowing. And, like, how could you say that you're righteous and that you're here for peace and on it and all this and that when you're defending liars and are mad because somebody is simply coming and telling the truth? That to me is insane. But that's the thing, Chills brought nothing but the facts on here. He didn't come like these other rappers that could have been like, oh, man, I catch you, I'm going to let you, with my AK. He was hitting them with nothing but the facts. And, what people see on YouTube, which makes the diss track even more impactful. The fact that he kept up with the beat, good rhythm, good vibe. He lyrically destroyed him with the truth. In a rapping way, which is why it was so impactful. And why a lot of people like it is because they can see the truth in it. If it really wasn't hitting them with the truth, like, Chill's just a hater, or, man, Chill's over here just in his feelings. But people are saying, like, yeah, because they can see what he's talking. They're seeing the actual proof and the truth. You know what I mean? That's something that can't be disguised with lies and smooth talk, like those two individuals like to do. You can't tell people what they're seeing and how somebody's behaving that they're tripping, and it's not really like that. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not here to convince people not to like, his channel, whatever. Merely coming and stating the facts and why I thought this track was fire. Go support Chills. Go check out his channel. Go peep out the track for yourself if you did like it. But at least that's why I thought the track was, a really, really good track. Fuego, lava, But that's just my opinion. What do you thought? Leave it in the comments. Shadow, we up.